This is a Ruffier PVA70. With its V8 engine and realistic graphics, it is a very futuristic luxury car. I'm going to show you the features, and then I'm going to take it on a test drive. And then I'll give it my cool score. Down in the description box below will be the link to Ruffier's Discord server, where if you boost, you can get one of these cars for yourself. You can also join my fictional vehicle brand server, Stellar. I'll see you there. Let's get straight into this vehicle. Starting off with the exterior styling, this looks a lot like a certain GTA car. But aside from that, it does not look too bad. As you can see, this is the higher trim level, specifically with a V8. The Ruffier PVA70 4-drive, which means this is all-wheel drive. I don't believe there are any models without all-wheel drive at this moment, but there will be in the future. So, first we'll look at the back seat. First we'll look at the back seat legroom. You can hear that very nice sound as you get into the vehicle. And in the back seat, the legroom doesn't actually look too bad. If I sit in here, as you can see, my legs can fit and I can even stretch them quite a bit. This is a full-size sedan, and they do offer other vehicles, as well as this one. So, I honestly don't think that's too bad. In the trunk, for the trunk, it does not seem to open. Perhaps that's an issue with the scripting. This is still a very early beta, which means only Nitro boosters can get this vehicle. So, let's get into the driver's seat, and I'm going to let you experience the startup animations, and then I'll talk to you about it. So as you see, the vehicle is now started up. Tachometer, it has comfort, so it has drive modes. If I put it in sport, you'll see the gauges actually change. If I just do that, ready? As you can see, these turn a bit red. You get miles per hour and gearing on both sides of the gauge, just so you can see that easier. This vehicle does not have a heads-up display, which you would expect in most luxury cars, but this car unfortunately does not have it. I apologize for the cut, but my internet decided to cut out. We were last talking about is the sport mode. So we have the speedometer over here, and the gear over here, just to make it easier to see. However, unlike most luxury cars, we do not have a heads-up display system, which kind of sucks, but it's not required. Next up, let's set the vehicle into comfort, and you'll see the animation here. As you see, it changes. That's not it. This vehicle also has electric mode. Quirky, but I like it. So, you can effectively drive around in electric mode. It's not as fast as with the gasoline engine, but it does work and is a very nice feature that I like they added, because there's a lot of situations where having an electric motor or having a gasoline motor could be used, so I love this integration. As you see with the gauges, the turn signals flash very slowly compared to many other cars. However, it is nice and obvious when you have the turn signal on. This vehicle comes with ambient lighting, as every luxury car should have. And next, we're going to look at the infotainment. Now this is where it starts to fall apart a little bit. If we go into the settings of the infotainment, you'll notice something a bit familiar here. Do you notice what it is? It looks like BMW's iDrive. Not to mention it is very old, this system, and as you can see, I don't have any playlist here, but it takes about 2 clicks of entering this in order to get to the playlists. On the map, this image does not appear as if it wants to load, but in terms of settings and stuff, this does not seem to work. That is definitely not the place that we're in. We're currently in New Corona, and that's not a song or anything. However, it does have the time correctly, and it doesn't look too bad altogether. It's just, it looks a lot like BMW's iDrive, and if you want some exclusivity, I would suggest you don't do that. The volume here appears to work, as you can see, and it doesn't go into negative. We have adaptive cruise, which we might test out later by spawning in another Ruffier. But overall, I'd say this car is pretty good. I'd give it about a 7 out of 10. Maybe a 6.5 out of 10, specifically because of this infotainment system. I just feel like it could be more refined and it could look way better. Specifically when you turn on the parking brake or turn on the traction, I'll show you what happens. It looks a little weird and not very futuristic. And there doesn't appear to be any use for that car in the middle other than just sliding down. It doesn't actually show the paint color on the outside or anything. So I'm not 100% sure what it does. If we open the door, the vehicle doesn't quite have its door open. So I'm not 100% sure what that's there to do, other than to be there for a reason, just to look good. I'm not sure. However, something I would like to talk about is the comfort. This vehicle is an amazing daily driver if you can get over the clunky iDrive Ruffier Connect system, iDrive like Ruffier Connect system, and the weird sounding chimes. What type of sound is that? But besides that, it does have nice ambience. Ambience is basically required on pretty much any modern car that you want. And in the back, it doesn't look like you have seat adjustability like you do in the front. So this is more geared towards the driver, which I actually really like in a car. I prefer cars geared towards the driver than the passenger. That's my opinion. It's up to you. But I suppose we'll take this for a drive, and we'll see how it goes. I just put it as engine mode, and as you can see, the gauge rises, which indicates that it's in engine mode. So let's get started. Let's go for a drive. Parking brake is off. Put it into gear. As you can see up there, that's the gear. No reverse camera, unfortunately, although I didn't quite expect that. And after this drive, I'll tell you about the quirks and features that this vehicle has, and then I'll give it a my cool score. In drive, this vehicle isn't too bad. Oh, I actually really like that animation there, and I actually haven't discovered it until now. Even though I've been with this car for about a day or so, I still have yet to discover that animation. There's no animation on the back, but on the front, that looks very nice. That's probably why it turn signals turn so slow. However, I want to see how this vehicle does sport-wise. This is a sports car. Don't get it wrong at all. It's got the lip. It's got a V8. So let's see if I get in the car. So let's see. If I accelerate, and this is in comfort, using its built-in launch control, let's see how fast we go. That is a 0 to 100 miles per hour. Accelerate. So let's try sports mode. And as you see, if we come to a stop, then those lights come on. Sports mode. Alright, let's try sports mode. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, the pickup on this. The pickup on this car is honestly surprising. I didn't expect it to be as fast as it actually is. So, honestly, I rate this very nice. A very nice 8 out of 10 for the driving experience. Not to mention, it's reasonably comfortable. You'd think it wouldn't be very comfortable given that it's a sports car, but this car is actually very, very comfy. So, let's get on to some quirks and features. The first quirk is the lights. If I turn off the vehicle in the front, it has that animation. And if I turn it on in the front, then it has that sort of animation. If I go ahead and turn off on the back, it does this drag across kind of line thing. And if I start it up in the back, it has this really cool kind of bouncing back and forth line animation. It looks very nice. The presentation is great, but I feel like there could be a few things done better. Overall, the entire vehicle I rate a 8 out of 10. Just because it drives very nice, it's very sporty, the pickup is amazing. However, the infotainment system looks a lot like iDrive and is very clunky. And while it does have some very quirky and interesting features, I don't think they make up completely for all the kind of issues. These gauges look way too simple in my opinion. At least they don't look very nice, especially when you start it up. The gauge sweep kind of interferes with your revving. If you try to rev it in the beginning, then it starts glitching out. Not to mention the chimes sound really weird and off-putting. I mean, no car really has a chime like Not to mention it goes on for way too long than I believe it should. However, it is a very nice economy car, and if you are looking for a really weird and different, interesting car with a lot of party quirks and very great acceleration for luxury car money, then this could be your choice. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.